I'm super happy to welcome Sloan, Jonathan, Bill back to within our Leaders Who Care series. And as I've always said, one of my favorite questions, but it really relates to what you all have been talking about on our Leaders Who Care conversation is how you influence people, how you've been influenced yourself, et cetera. So could each of you share like maybe one or two people that have been influences in your life and say why? And we'll go to you, Sloan.
Yeah, no, I think this is a really, really one of my favorite kinds of questions, because if you think about it, none of us is formed alone, right? We are all the result of the influences around us. And of course, one of the closest influences in my life is my mother. I have to say that one of the most important things she has taught me in the many things is the value of saying no to things that are maybe not the best use of your time, to allow you to then take on the things that are really going to be compelling and exciting. And I think that translates really directly into what we do at a startup. We always have a lot of interesting opportunities coming our way, and if we say yes to all of them, then you deplete your resources, your energy, and reduce your ability to actually be effective at anything. So I've got to say that my mom and the power of no. And then I was recently, like we've talked about, at Planned Parenthood, and really so many compelling women leaders there. And the CEO of the Massachusetts affiliate, Dr. Jennifer Childs-Roshak, and then the former board chair, Ann Columbia, both really powerful women who inspired me to think a little bit more about what kind of impact I could have if I educated myself a little bit further and was not just behind the scenes at that nonprofit that was doing compelling stuff, but was really allowing myself to think strategically and innovating a little bit further. So I'd have to say those three women.
I wish I knew your mom, because we get the same opportunity and problem of people coming up to us. I mean, there's so many good things, but you can't do them all. So, hey, Bill, what about you?
Well, multiple people come to mind, so it's a hard question to answer too succinctly. But
well, you can
one
do
person that
if you want.
Pick a couple. One person that came to mind was a gentleman named Professor Dr. Mark Mitchell. He was a professor at the Harvard School of Public Health when we were there. And he was a pediatrician, but he also had an MBA degree, and he was teaching the management side of things at the School of Public Health. And I'll never forget meeting with him when we first came to the School of Public Health and discussing with him who we were and what we wanted to do. And I remember pausing and asking, well, what do you think? And his immediate answer was to me, well, first of all, you're in the wrong school. And what he meant by that, after I'd already paid our tuition and, we're moved to Boston and everything, was that to do what we do and what we've, I think, somewhat successfully we've done over the last 12 years, is that you have to have a very strong, not just public health perspective, but business sense of what you do. And he was a big influencer on our lives of combining our sense of wanting to do good with having to have solid business practices and business sense as you do it. Otherwise, you're just asking for a disaster. He was also an influencer in that I remember at the end of school, he said, I want to meet with you guys again. And I said, well, what do you want to talk about now? And what he wanted to talk about was that, look, for you guys to be successful, you're going to raise a family. The most important thing you're ever going to do is raise your children. And one of the most important things you're going to do for your children is give them a sense of place. If you move around too much and you don't give them a sense of place, you're not going to be successful in these other things you want to do. And I think that Mark's influence on us enabled us to serve here and make a home out of Cambodia, Southeast Asia in general in a way, but in Cambodia as a whole. I think his influence really, people like him coming alongside us and encouraging us and giving us that wisdom is really what's allowed us to be impactful here and to wind up working with people as skilled and talented as Jonathan and his colleagues.
Wow, that's great. That's super cool. Jonathan?
Yeah, I think for me, really, it's all about everyday heroes in my life. As I say, again, I'm truly the result of the 10 closest people I have around me. Truly, like, Bill's really one of my real heroes here. Constantly being able to, we've come a long way, right? Like, first time I met Bill, there was this guy in cowboy boots walked up to me in the Siem Reap airport, came to pick me up, reached out his hand. I was like, I never met a guy with that big of a hand. And I was like, where did this guy come from? Never met a guy from Kentucky either. What are you doing here? And really getting to know someone like that, who has so many other opportunities, but yet also has maintained so much control and so much option over what they want to do, right? And just has gone for it, right? It's not, and really go for what you believe in. Other people who have really influenced the way I behave and the way I view life. I'm again extremely fortunate to have met many people and who have mentored me throughout life. Unfortunately, I don't have examples of professors. I didn't really go to school much, so they didn't really like me that much. But my clinical professors, for example, my clinical mentors, some of them have just done, there's no, I still struggle today. I have mentors in this surgeon called Li Shu Jin. I have Jeremy from Singapore, Jeremy Lim from Singapore. I just, even till today, I still struggle to describe it because from the first day I met them, they were just so generous to me, so generous in the advice, so generous in, just taking me under the wings and showing me how they viewed the world, how you can be just generous with other people without, I had literally nothing else to offer back. I was just this like second year student or third year student. And they were like, come, let me show you the ropes. Let me show you how to be generous to people. Let me show you how to treat the patients. Let me show you how to do your best with patients and really fight for them, right? And they've repeated that over and over again. I've just been so fortunate to meet people like that over and over again in my life. And at some point, you just realize that, hey, you have no other choice, but you have to give back. You have to reciprocate to the rest of the world. And that's really driven my where I want to go with life and how I see life.
Well, it's a great gift, and I think everybody starts to realize that we're influencing people anyway. So why not do it the right way, and in a positive way? And so you've influenced me already, you guys, for real. I mean, you guys are terrific and definitely leaders who care. And so thanks again. Really appreciate your sharing and all you do.
Thanks, Mark.
Very much. Pleasure.